Hey, welcome back. Chris here with Blue Suede Barbecue. Now, you already saw how we started our brisket flat for today's Super Bowl Sunday. Now I'm going to show you what I do with these pork back ribs. And I've got 3 ribs. They came in a pack from my local Costco. I don't remember the price, so I apologize. But what I'm going to show you first is kind of how they come out of the pack, what I do with it, trim them up just a little bit. Fortunately, the silver skins on these are already removed, so I can't show you that, but I can show you how to do it. It's just not going to be on there. Alright, so the first thing, I already rinsed all 3 racks of ribs. I rinsed them off in the sink and I patted them dry, just like I did with the brisket. And as you see, there's nothing on here. Okay, there's nothing, no seasoning, nothing like that yet. So what I did was, I trimmed this first one and I left these 2 so that way you can kind of see what I did. Now you don't have to trim them up if you're just going to be cooking at home for your family. You don't need to trim them up if you don't want to, but we've got a bunch of friends coming over for a Super Bowl party, so I wanted to make them look a little bit nicer. So you can see this one, come in closer. You can see this one's already trimmed. Okay, you can see how there's all this little kind of extra that we're going to cut off, and on this one there's just some overlap meat. There's nothing wrong with this meat, but I just want to make it look nice and presentable for my guests. Now, if the silver skin were on here, this is how I would go about taking it off. Alright, if you try to use just your hands, even with gloves, it's never going to work very well. So get you a dry paper towel. You can fold it up like this, fold it up like this. Get you a paring knife. You can start on either side. I like to start on the short side. It's a little bit easier to just kind of pull it all. And you want to find a bone. Find a bone right here. See, there's the bones. And you can kind of just get underneath it. And then you get your finger in there and pull this silver skin up. Now, like I said, these were already removed out of the package. But once you get that little corner, now you get your paper towel, which will give you a nice grip, and as you take it, you should just be able to pull it all the way off into one clean piece. Again, you can do it from this side if you want. Alright, so this one's already trimmed up, so I'll show you how I'm going to trim this one. You can see we've got some, just some not really pleasant looking meat here. It's really thin. These bones are kind of craggly, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off. Let's see. We're going to take them off right about here. Just like that. I'll save these. I'll still cook them, but that'll just be for my little snack. Just a little chef snack. Alright. Take them, flip it over. Take my paring knife. Trim that up a little bit. We'll get some of this excess off here. Again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'm just doing it so that way it's a nice presentation for my guests. Alright, that one's good. We'll do the same thing on this side with this one. I'm going to take off this bit of extra meat right here. Again, this will not go to waste. Okay. So you can see I probably need to sharpen that knife a little bit. Alright, we're going to cook that up, and again, that'll be for a little chef snack later today. Alright, I'm going to finish trimming this up, and then we'll come back in a minute, and I'll show you how to season it, prep it, and then we'll get it on the smoker. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Alright, so we've finished kind of trimming up our racks here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and season them. Now with the brisket, I told you that I use yellow mustard as the binder. I do that with ribs as well, and I changed my mind today. I was going to do that, but instead I'm going to use a little bit of my Blue Suede Barbecue Memphis 901 sauce. Why is it 901? That's the area code in Memphis where I grew up. Alright, so we're just going to use this, again, just as a binder. And what I do is I'm going to prep one rack, and then it'll be the same for all the racks, so that way you don't have to sit here and watch me doing this for the next 20 minutes, alright? So we're going to make sure we get just enough to help that dry rub, and the salt and the pepper adhere to it. Now, I like to start with the rack, the bone side facing up, so that way after I have seasoned it, and I turn it back over, I'm not going to be losing a bunch of the seasoning and the rub on the pan. If you start with seasoning this side first, when you flip it over to do the other side, now all that goodness that you just put on here is going to be stuck to the pan. All right, so I suggest starting with the racks up. All right, so just like with the brisket, we're going to start with just a light coat of pepper. I don't like my pork ribs too peppery. Again, same thing, coarse sea salt. Make sure we get the edges as well. Again, coarse salt helps bind that smoke to the meat, which then should give us a really nice crust, even on these ribs that are going to be pulled off the bone. Now, some folks are going to tell you fall off the bone if you're doing competitions like Memphis in May or Kansas City type judging competition. You don't want it to fall off the bone, you want it to pull off the bone. And we'll show you what that looks like when the time comes later this afternoon. All right, now we got that. I'll make sure that's on there nice and snug. Flip it to the other side. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Barbecue sauce, pepper, salt, dry rub, and then we're going to do the same thing for the rest of these racks. Then we're going to put them on the smoker. So come back for that. All right. All right. We're out here with these beautiful ribs that have been seasoned. They are ready for the smoker. I've got a combination of hickory chips and some Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel chips. Put these in there. We're going to do the traditional 3-2-1 method, where we do 3 hours in the smoker like this, 2 hours give or take where they are wrapped up, and then the last hour back unwrapped to get that nice char. Check back with us later.